overstepping. I guess I'll never learn my lesson. And I've been hiding, overthinking, finding higher ways of sinking.
Hello everyone and welcome to another SoundCheck Sessions. Today's Underground Radar guest, he tells us that it all started with a pawn shop drum set at age 14. What began as an escape during that turned into a calling. Drums first, then any instrument he could get his hands on. By high school, he was behind the kit in a punk band with some friends. And somewhere in those rooms, full of noise, he found the thing that sold him on a life in music. Playing live with other people. The pivot from drummer to songwriter landed in 2022. First a single, a debut album, Scorched, barely a year out of high school. Since then, he's built something rare for a small town artist, a loyal Northeast Ohio following that actually shows up. 2023 brought a bigger room, opening slot for RC Drive Static Tour, sharing stage with one of the most recognizable names in the current indie wave. Now, the writing gets braver. Tracks like Alone in My Clothes trades hooks for honesty, digging into the gap between the life you've been handed and the one you actually want. His North Star is Rick Rubin's The Creative Act, a book he's read all the way through 5 times and still finds new lessons in. While his catalog may be a little small, the conviction sure isn't. Welcome, Liam.
Thanks for having me.
Hello, hello. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys?
We're doing well.
Good, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, if you're okay with it, we have some questions for you that we'd love to dive into.
I would love to.
Beautiful. You want to start us off?
Yeah. Okay, so first one, for someone hearing your name for the very first time, how would you describe your sound in your own words?
Wow, that's a tough one right off the bat.
We don't fool around.
Yeah, I go back and forth with this all the time. I think starting in a primarily punk-oriented sound, I think I've kept a lot of those roots alive moving forward. But kind of as I aged into more of a songwriter and got out of the drumming scene, I found myself listening to a lot of indie rock bands. I think Cage the Elephant specifically was the gateway into that kind of sound. So nowadays I find myself trying to emulate that 2010s, early 2000s, just indie rock kind of thing. So if I had to describe my sound to somebody, I'd say noisy guitars, punk-oriented drums, but with a lot of those indie-inspired melodies and lead guitar lines. So.
Hold that.
Yeah.
If a stranger was to press play on you for the first time, which track would you send their way?
So I think there's 2 answers for this. Off the rip, I think songs that I have out and available now, there's a track called Overstepping that I spent a lot of time on. I think that's a song that I was able to really capture the sound I wanted to in. I think with releases prior, it's been very I'm learning how to be a musician, how to be an instrumentalist, and everything I do is self-produced, so learning how to be a producer as well. And I think a lot of the songs that came before Overstepping was me just trying to get my bearings and trying to make songs that are songs first. So I think with Overstepping, it was a good milestone where I was able to really capture a sound of songs on my playlists and songs that I want to listen to. So, and over the past year, I've been working on an EP that I think really drives that home. So I'd say right now Overstepping, and then in the future, there's a lot of other tracks that I'm super excited to be able to finally be check this one out. This is really who I am in the moment.
Anything you want to tease?
Yeah. There's I've been working on an EP for about a year. It's 7 tracks long. I'm shooting for mid-July. Tough Draw for single
Maybe
coming out.
Maybe heard it here first?
Yeah, we'll see. So I'm shooting for mid-July for the debut single for that to come out, and then to kind of the rest of the project to follow. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I did hear some of them about a month ago live at a small show, and they were very good. So
That's awesome.
keep your eye out. Okay, so if you could paint a picture from where you're from, what is the Medina, Northeast Ohio scene actually like for someone who's never set foot in it?
It's really warm. I think everyone around is, not temperature-wise, more so the vibe of the place.
I was like,
totally
it's,
recommend warm as a temperature.
it was a pretty cold winter, actually.
Yeah, well, honestly, I think those cold winters is what makes the people so warm.
Yes,
I think,
there you go.
yeah, just it's small town vibes through and through. Like it's everyone's super stoked to see what you're working on, and it's really rare to see creative projects come out of that space. So when they do, I think the community really puts themselves behind it. So Medina specifically, I think, is a very family-oriented city. And then moving into Cleveland and being from Ohio, you're in a smaller market opposed to like New York or LA or you know, other music hubs. So I think there's a sense of community within that everyone understands that we're in it together. It takes a village. So I think a lot of creatives in the space lean on each other, and there's a lot to just a lot of cool people to work with that are eager to work. So yeah, I think it's warm.
Yeah. Is there anybody in the local space that you want to maybe shout out or like tell us to check out?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of my friends. Tessa Smith, she's primarily a photographer, but she makes a lot of really cool music that I played with her a couple times on stage, and it's great. Staying on that photographer-videographer lane, Alex Scalzo, makes amazing work, shoots a lot of video for a lot of bands outside of Cleveland, bands in Cleveland. There's more local bands like the Rosies, that's Lake Erie punk, really cool sound. Yeah, there's a lot of smaller local bands that I just adore and you know,
Love that.
and really want to share the stage with in the future. So
Beautiful.
yeah.
One other question off script. You mentioned you're a producer or a self-taught producer.
Yes.
Can you walk us through that a little bit more?
Yeah.
Coming from somebody, I'm a songwriter, but I don't know the first thing about a DAW. Like
Yeah.
open
Same.
Logic and I get scared out of my mind.
For sure.
And then I close it.
There's a lot of buttons. It's daunting for sure. Yeah. I mean, even still, like, I mean, I'm a like self-taught, and that means YouTube. That means trial and error. That means making a lot of things that sound terrible that will never see the light of day. You know.
Do you ever sample anything? Like.
Yeah, I used to when I was getting my bearings
Okay.
in just how to work in a DAW, because like I started just on GarageBand on my iPhone. Just
Yep.
where a lot of people do.
I started
you know?
on GarageBand in an Apple store.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
I had a 15-second clip of my singing from an Apple store
nice.
Oh my god.
that I emailed to myself.
Yeah, and that's how you have to do it. That's how you have to
And
do
And
it.
that's
that
just how
was
it works.
that was how I started my music
For sure.
back in the day.
Right.
But now we've retired. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's been the transition from GarageBand to Logic is, I mean, they're both Apple made
Yeah.
softwares, so there's a lot of common threads there. It's just Logic has more buttons.
Do you use Logic primarily?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, I record and mix and master everything into Logic, and it's been about 4 years now that I've been producing, and pretty much just all for my own stuff. Like I've helped friends out with different projects, but it really, I think, gives you the most creative control when you produce it yourself. Like you really can dial in every sound to the way that you hear it in your head, and you don't have to like communicate with another producer and try to translate your ideas across. I think a lot of what the core ideas can get lost in that setting. So yeah, but even still, like there's so many question marks I have when I'm producing, but honestly it's like what I've learned is if you just follow your ear, a lot of the time you're going to be happy with what happens. So
It's fair.
yeah.
Okay, so where would you say that you're at as an artist right now?
Okay, that's broad. I would say right now I think I'm in a like sound discovery phase. Over the past year that I've been recording this EP, I've really tried to boil it down to like strictly making things that I would listen to in my free time. So I think I'm really trying to hone in on my own taste and trying to refine that, and just trying to like imbue my music with that feeling of like these are songs that I will listen to time and time again. And there's songs off this EP that I have been listening to for a year repetitively, and I'm not tired of them yet. So I think like I'm really trying to put a lot of my identity into these songs. So I think that's the active project at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are you able to like walk us through about, just give us like an example of a week, like between writing, playing,
Yeah.
etc. Whatever kind
For
of
sure.
happens in that week. Tell us
Yeah,
what it's
definitely.
like.
It depends on my work schedule. You know.
Okay. Yep. We all get it.
For sure.
We all get
Gotta
it.
pay the bills, definitely. So a lot of the time I'm working around those, but it'll be, the past year has been pretty dedicated into recording and producing, and earlier in the year it was that writing phase of this project. So it's really dependent on what the active task at hand is. So which there's a lot of flexibility in that, which is great. Like I can just spend a week solely on mixing one song if I want to, or you know, writing if that's, you know, the task at hand. So it's pretty dependent on that, but it's a lot of just like working at weird hours, like staying up late, waking up later, just
The
like
life of a creative.
yeah,
We all-
like you know,
we all it well.
I'm trying to like figure out a way to capture my like 3 a.m. brain at like 3 p.m. because I think
It's not possible.
Yeah,
It's like
hard.
magic.
It's hard.
It's a magic hour. You
it
gotta.
really is. Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta
But
just
for
ride the waves.
right, but
of
for
dopamine.
the sake of longevity, you know, I would love to be able to have a normal human sleep schedule and still be able to create at the
I
same
hate
Yeah,
to
it's hard.
inform you that you
Yeah.
are a creative.
And I'm realizing that every day, honestly.
There's no off days.
There are
No,
no,
not at all.
no days off. Every day is a 3 a.m. day.
For sure. Yeah. So
Step 1 and 2 is being creative.
right. So every week's different, but I try to keep my schedule flexible so that I can accommodate new ideas that show up, or you know, like I'm playing with a band I can, which is great because you can't play every instrument on stage at
Right.
once. Well, you could, but you know.
Live
Be a little
music.
difficult.
All
Probably.
right.
It's okay.
Yeah, but it's scheduling with those guys too. I've set my lifestyle up in a way where I can be flexible, so I can you know, if someone can't do this day, I can, you know, work on a project that day and
Right.
move things around. So it's really free form, which is great, and it's kind of a, you know, double-edged sword because you lose that structure,
Right.
and it's you know, hard to stay productive with a lack of structure, but you know, that's still an active learning experience that I'm in at the moment. So yeah.
Okay. What would you say is the single most exciting thing happening in your music at the moment?
I just love these songs that I've been working on. Like that's the most exciting, and I think that is a place of excitement that is the most rewarding. Like when you've poured so many hours into a project over X amount of months and you're just happy with it. It's the best feeling. And as this project wraps up in its producing phase, I'm gonna transition more into just like a live setting and just try to play out as much. So I'm really excited for that too. But I'd say right now I just love showing people these songs, and I'm so excited for when they're out and I can send a link instead of having to send a WAV file over text, you know. So that's, yeah, I'm in like an in-between season right now. So I'm really excited in this gearing up process to turn the page and finally have these songs out, and I can work on new stuff, and you know, so that's the most exciting I think right now. Is it's definitely a transition season.
A lot of potential.
For sure.
A lot of almost like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Don't ask me anything
It's just
about
building up.
Right, you prepare
science,
these
but
things.
I was going to say like kinetic energy or whatever,
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of
Yeah.
potential energy right
Potential.
now, for sure.
Physics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
physics.
Yeah.
Don't stay in school, okay?
Not my strong suit.
You'll be a creative forever.
The 3 a.m. sleep
3 a.m.
schedule.
sleep
Yeah.
No, but quick question. This is just, again, off rip, but when you write, do you write by yourself? Do you have a group of co-writers that you work with? Or like, how is the writing process for you?
Everything that I've put out under like my name has just been me in a room.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
primarily with an acoustic guitar. That's typically how things start. Is just strumming around, either finding cool chords first, or a cool vocal melody first, or even like a cool concept that I would like to capture in a song. But it's just me in a room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you do any journaling, anything to like kind of get into the
for sure. I think
flow, or is it more typing on the phone, or?
Yeah, it's really whatever I have on hand. You know, the like ideas are always fleeting, so you try to just get down as many words on paper as you can, or words into your notes app as you can.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like when I'm in a writing phase, it'll be whether it starts with chords on a guitar or, you know, whatever the first initial step is towards a song. Whenever the lyric writing phase happens, it's just word vomit into my phone or onto a page of just like vague ideas, not even trying to rhyme anything, just so I can kind of get a scope of like, okay, this is my word bank. Now let's try to formulate ideas that are cohesive and make sense and tell a story and fit in a song. So yeah, it's a lot of, but you know, every song's different, so like there's really no formula. You just gotta
I get that.
follow the song, see where it takes you.
Definitely. I would say one of my favorite things to do is, you know, those like randomizers, spinny wheels.
Yeah.
I put like 100 words into there, just any random word that you can think of, like rain or like scream or whatever. Yeah. And then you just let the spinny wheel pick a word and then write to it.
Yes.
Oh,
you said word bank, and I was like, you gotta do
for sure.
this. If you've never done this.
I'll do little exercises like that where it's like I'll find 2 cool words and I'm like, how do I link these? How do I make this something impactful?
Yes.
You know?
Love that.
Yeah.
So the new stuff that you've been playing is a little different. What sound or direction are you chasing on your new unreleased material? Is it a departure from Scorched, or is it a deeper version of that?
Honestly, both. I think it's a deeper departure, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like I said previously, I think a lot of my older songs were me just trying to just be a musician, whatever that means.
Out a little bit.
Yeah, like I know this is something I really want to do. And coming from drums, like you have a lot of that imposter syndrome of like, well, I'm a drummer, I'm not a songwriter, you know. But now that I've been songwriting for years, I'm getting to the point now where I can really throw myself into this song, and I can really like identify with it and relate to it on a deeper level than songs in the past.
And trust yourself.
Exactly, yeah. And I think trust in your own taste is just the most valuable thing to have as a creative. So when it comes to these newer songs, it's all that. It's all just like, how can I stay true to the songs I like, the sound I like, and how can I capture that in a recording? So I'd say it's departing in that way, in a way that's more me and less just this is music, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
I will never get over this. You've built a genuine loyal following for an artist this early. Tell me about your relationship with your fans, and what that's like, and kind of how that helps shape your music.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of like my local following feels very, it all feels very close. Because I think there's a lot, the core members of that is a lot of like family or lifelong friends or people that have always been in my corner, regardless if it was music or other life things. So I think when a lot of my like close friends and family saw me taking this step, they really had my back and they were really behind me with everything. And I think having people like that in an audience, that's just an infectious thing to be around. So I think other audience members that I don't know personally, or maybe I know through a friend of a friend, I think that's an easy thing to jump onto, and an easy just like feeling of support that is, you know, I think a lot of people will adopt. So like as I've begun to play out more and meet new people and play with different bands that have different audiences, I think just that like genuine nature of caring, I think has followed through and kind of spread out to different people, which is great. And it's still mind-blowing when there's a person that I don't know telling me that my songs mean something to them. Like that's, you know, that's what you do it for. Like you can't replicate that feeling. So it's been just like really wholesome, really just genuine through and through. And I really think that started just by having a core base of like just really good friends and family and just great people behind me from the start.
That's awesome. Yeah. Would you say you also have like a lot of support online that you get to feel, and like, or is it mostly like
for sure.
when you're live setting, or? I
think well, it's hard to be a live setting, you know, like I think words said face to face are always more impactful. So but like there's it's always great to get a random DM from some guy in like Australia at like 2 a.m. just like,
Yeah.
hey man, I found your songs and they're really great. I think that also kills a lot of that imposter syndrome of
Definitely.
like, am I really a musician, you know? But when you get stuff like that, it's undeniable in a lot of ways.
Right.
So yeah, I'd say there's a lot of online support, and it all means so much regardless of where it comes from.
Yeah. So I know you said that you have an EP scheduled out hopefully for later in the summer, but do you have any other realistic like next milestones that you're driving towards other than that possibly coming out later?
Yeah. The past year's really been zeroed in on this project, but within that year, I've had a lot of time to think of like what happens next. And I think for me personally, it's a very like I want to tour. I want to be on as many live shows as I can, whether that's opening for other bands I'm a fan of or headlining my own gigs. I think that live setting is really what's the most valuable to me right now. I think I don't know, especially with AI and how disingenuous things have felt in the creative space lately. I think a live show is so in your face and is so this is real and as real as it gets. I think the value of those live shows is only getting more valuable. So for me personally, I think that is the frontier that I'm really trying to push at the
That's
moment.
awesome. For readers who want to keep you on their radar, 'cause this is our underground radar column, what specifically should they be watching for within 6 months? I know we kind of alluded to it a little bit, but
Yeah, I
let them
think
know like a
for
name
sure.
or something. That
Yeah, I think the
should be
obvious
reaching for.
The obvious is the Outside EP. 7 songs. I think I have
Wow.
like 8 songs out on Spotify now, so it's gonna almost double my discography. So it's the biggest undertaking I've taken as a solo operating creative. And I've just put so much love and time and care into these songs for so long that is the one thing I will always tell people about. Like, hey, this is really gonna be a representation of who I am as a creative. So I just really want to drive that home that this is gonna be a really cool project, and I really think you guys should listen to it and take the time to. So.
Perfect. Hopefully you'll send it to us. So
I
that
will.
we
I will.
can do maybe
Yes.
we'll see you in a little review column or something
Okay.
when it comes out.
Okay, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll
Keep
see.
the eyes open.
Keep
Keep
'em
the
out.
ears open.
Do you want to ask the last one?
Sure.
All right. I have like one more after, but we'll say it.
Okay.
We'll say it for
Semi-final one.
Semi-final. The penultimate question.
All right. So give us the split, a goal that's genuinely within reach this year versus long-term moonshot that you're quietly working towards.
Yeah. I think a festival booking, honestly. I think that's...
Anyone in particular?
I
hope
think
for?
at the moment there's like the local, like Wonderstruck, Wonderbus, all those. I think I've seen a lot of like decently sized bands from the area that have landed those kind of slots. So I think that is a pretty realistic goal, especially as I kind of dive into more of a live oriented workflow. I think that that seems really doable. So yeah, I'd say a festival slot would be killer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the one within reach.
Yeah, that's
Perfect.
for sure.
And then what's the
The crazy
way
one.
moon
Yeah.
moonshot?
I mean, we could stay on the festival thing. I think playing Bonnaroo would be a dream.
You never know.
Obviously, Bonnaroo, Lalo, like, you know, all those big
Any of those big
festivals.
ones.
Yeah, I have so much fun attending festivals. I could only imagine what playing one would feel like.
Definitely.
So I'd say stuff like that. I think going on the road with a band that I'm a big fan of too would also just be, you know, a dream come true.
Yeah.
So that, and then there's like going back over to the music side of things, I think getting like an actual debut album. I mean, that's obtainable, but down the ways a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are really just kind of, I know those are destinations, whether they're the next stop or not. It's definitely going to be something I'm going to hit down the road. So it's just, you know, planning out everything in the meantime. But
Perfect. Well, this one I like to end with, for the viewers right there at home, looking right at you. What do you want to tell them?
yeah. What do I want to tell you? I'd say support your local musicians in your community. I think that's where the music is. That's what music is, honestly. Like that's where you'll really see what music does for people, what music can do for you when there's like 25 people in a sweaty room and you're just like really there for the music. I think there's nothing more valuable than that. So support live music, support local musicians, and keep an ear out for this new EP.
Love it. Well, thank you again,
Of
guys.
course.
This was Liam Brock. Thank you again so
Thank
much
you.
for your time. We
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
it.
a pleasure.
Awesome. Well, thanks.
Right on.
See you in the next one.
I've been overstepping. I guess